Hello, Chef Marcus Guiliano here, and I'm your chef on a mission. Today's mission is eco-friendly alcohols. What does it take to produce alcohol, and which alcohols, if you're conscious about the environment, are the best to consume? Health-wise, there's really no alcohol that's good to consume. All alcohol causes damage on a cellular level. It does a lot of things, no matter what those people say about a shot of whiskey a day, a glass of red wine a day. There might be certain components in red wine, like resveratrol, that is a super anti-aging antioxidant, but you need to drink 25 glasses of a high-level resveratrol wine like Pinot Noir to get the therapeutic effects. So you're going to do much more damage trying to get that resveratrol than really what it's worth at that point, because you're going to be causing lots of damage by drinking that much wine. So it is true that wine does relax you. It might relieve stress. Alcohol it might de-stress you, which might lower your blood pressure, de-stressing you. But the reality is, in the overall picture, it's not good, no matter if it's 1 drink a day or 2 drinks a day. So, but if you are going to consume alcohol and you want to be as eco-friendly as possible, what are your options best? What are your best options in order? There's an article from mindbodygreen.com. The most eco-friendly alcohols ranked. December 31st, 2017. New Year's Eve, an occasion to reflect on the years that's passed. Plan for the one up ahead, and yes, probably consume some booze along the way. By the way, did you know when surveyed, 79% of people want to live a green lifestyle. However, most restaurants don't provide us with options of living a green lifestyle when it comes to eating food and drinking booze. And people throw their hands in the air and say they're going to eat and do whatever, wherever, because it's hard to go out of your way. So there's very few restaurants that are out there that really, truly understand the effects of food production and alcohol production on the environment. Now, we're extremely conscious at my restaurant, but in reality, there's a lot of waste still going on just in general, because that's the name of the game when it comes to producing mass quantities of food to feed our population. But there are foods, there are beverages that are better than others. So let's jump right into this. Ranking number one is beer. While the process to produce a gallon of beer isn't exactly easy on the environment. So, for example, beef, when it comes to beef, chicken, lettuce, there's a water per what it takes to produce a pound of beef, a gallon of water wise. So there's charts out there, there's graphs out there. Some beef takes 2,500 gallons to 5,000 gallons of water to make 1 pound of beef. Chicken is probably half that. Well, a head of lettuce is 19 gallons. See, so there's ways you can balance water consumption in your food or water usage in your food by eating certain things, or even decreasing. If you cut your beef down by half in 2018, you'd be saving lots of water, and you can take a full force shower. People think, oh, I'm going to get those low flow shower head, I'm going to take less showers, I'm going to be in and out of the shower in 5 minutes. Or if you ate 1 less burger a month, you'd be saving more water than you could all year long by reducing shower times, cutting shower times in half, really. So reduce smartly. All right, so beer. It requires way less water than wine and liquor. So beer requires way less water than wine and liquor, around 296 gallons compared to 872 gallons for the same amount of wine. So 300 gallons to almost 900 gallons. It's a 3 times increase to produce wine versus beer. Very interesting. I guess grapes take a lot of water along the way. Plus, these days, many craft brewers, by definition, are small operations that don't put additives like rice or corn into their brews, and are going above and beyond to clean up their production practices as much as possible. Folks, there are a lot of green breweries out there. There's green wineries too, but a lot of green breweries like Smutty Nose. There's a local one here, Catskill. It's triple LEED certified, gold, platinum, whatever it is. They have a grass roof. The employees, when they first opened, were riding their bikes to work. So there certain breweries, and I think Sierra Nevada has really gone solar. A lot of breweries have gone solar. So a lot of breweries are very conscious about the environment. The good thing about this is, compared to wine, because wineries are too, like I said, but the good thing about beer versus wine is every state, every region can make good, high quality beer. not every region and every state can make high quality wine. So you wouldn't travel to Alabama, for example, and expect to have a world of local wine that comes from 10 minutes away, 20 minutes away, that's produced in an eco-friendly manner, because they don't have wine. They produce wine in Alabama, sure, they do in all 50 states, but not talking about significant quality or quantity. When it comes to beer, every state is doing that, and you're going to get a brewery within 30 minutes of where you're at. There's 6,000 breweries in America now, folks. It's easy to find local beer wherever you are. It exists, and there's lots of options. And look for the breweries that are doing it greener. Some brewers are using organic ingredients. It's not many out there, folks. I try to buy organic beers. There's not many out there at all that are using organic ingredients. Woolworths, however, pioneered certified organic beer years ago in the 90s, I believe, or late 80s. Woolworths. Then they make some decent beers too. The IPA was one of always my favorites through the 90s and through the early 2000s. All right, number 2, wine. Even though it takes 3 times the amount of water versus beer, here's what they say about wine. When it comes to wines, buying local is key instead of indulging in that Malbec from Australia. I've never had a Malbec from Australia. I've had Malbecs from South America. Don't know if that's a typo or the author just didn't know. But of course, there is probably a Malbec, but not popular at all by any means from Australia. That is a South American wine, originally from France. Consider trying one out from a vineyard closer to your home. You can also, here's what the big part is, you can also decrease your bottle's carbon footprint by foregoing the bottle altogether. Yep, boxed wine is usually more eco-friendly choice. It takes a lot to ship glass, it takes a lot to make glass, it takes a lot to recycle glass, it takes a lot of fuel to ship. So if you're drinking wine, and I gotta tell you, there's a lot less waste in a box. You don't have a corked bottle anymore. The box sits there on the shelf. It has a 45-day shelf life, because every time you click that little button and wine comes out and you let go, it seals it airtight. No air gets into it. It's not like pouring a bottle, tipping it back up, and air getting inside the wine and only lasting 2 days for the bottle. You can literally have that box in your refrigerator on your shelf for 45 days after you open it, and the wine is fine. So much more eco-friendly. Biodynamic wines are also friendlier. There's a massive biodynamic movement on wines. 2018 is the year for organic and biodynamic wines. So if you are buying from abroad, if you are buying from France or South America or across the U.S., there are a lot of really high quality biodynamic vineyards out there to buy from. Biodynamic, they use no chemicals like organic, but it's a lot more love. It's an amazing process. So check out biodynamic vintners. Number 3, now we're going in a decreasing order, or in a worsening order, in fact. So beer was your best choice, wine your second choice. Number 3 is spirits. Spirits like rum, gin, and vodka are all pretty resource intensive to make. They require a lot of raw materials like grains such as corn, rye, or wheat, and typically takes a good amount of energy to turn these into a finished product. Plus, depending upon where it's made, liquor can leave a lot of waste and chemicals behind. There are, however, a few handful of alcohol brands that are working to reduce their impact as much as possible. So yes, you can find organic suppliers, you can find people that have a lower carbon footprint, and definitely search them out. And then they list a couple like Greenland's Ridge Distillery, Don Q Rum, a Puerto Rican purveyor. When fermenting molasses for their rums, they capture the CO2 it emits, store it, and sell it to local soft drink producers instead of just letting it out and go into the atmosphere. Other companies like 360 Vodka plant trees around their facilities into an effort to offset emissions. Well, did you know that True, or Green Bar, plants a tree every time you buy a bottle? And every time I buy a bottle from them and sell it, I plant a tree. So Green Bar is definitely a company to check out. They're out of California. They used to be called Modern Spirits. They changed their name about 10 years ago. Green Bar, everything they do is 100% organic. Awesome company. They have a great rum. They have vodka. They have gin. They have a tequila that they make in Mexico. Of course, you have to make tequila in Mexico. They have some cordials. They have some really cool stuff. An orange liqueur, jasmine liqueur, ginger liqueur. I think I had that hibiscus liqueur. Really cool stuff. Green Bar, check them out. Really good guys too. I've met them before. Number 4, everything else. Flavored liquors and specialty drinks, basically anything that smells unnaturally sweet or fruity, are usually the worst in the terms of environmental impact, since they're basically just liquors with more ingredients, usually sugar. packed into them. So we're talking about liqueurs. We're talking about those fancy colored bottles of spirits. Do yourself a favor and keep it simple this New Year's Eve. Add flavor with mixers. The planet and your body will thank you. So sugar is very taxing on the environment, extremely. There's a lot of waste, a lot of chemical waste that goes in, a lot of runoff that goes in to sugar production. I'm not sure if growing sugar cane is really an issue, but the way that how they harvest it, there's a lot of unfair labor in sugar cane picking and in sugar production. Lots and lots of unfair labor in the sugar plantations, especially in Dominican Republic, where all the Haitian migrants come over and basically never leave these plantations. They're indentured servants, and that's where most of the world's sugar supply, or at least our sugar supply in the U.S., comes from Dominican Republic. So look up some stuff on Dominican. If you're concerned about how people are treated and the environmental impact of your food, start with sugar. Start with white sugar. Check it out. There's a lot of good documentaries on YouTube about just the horrific conditions of these Haitians and how they're treated in these sugar plantations. That's it. I'm Chef Marcus Guiliano. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please hit like, subscribe to my channel, and definitely leave a comment.